Tajikistan is a land where mountains touch the sky, their snowy peaks rising above the clouds and stretching as far as the eye can see. Here, nature feels ancient and powerful, shaping every part of life. Rivers carve deep paths through the rocks, creating winding valleys and canyons that have guided people and animals for thousands of years. The Pamir Mountains, often called the roof of the world, dominate the landscape, shaping how people live, travel, and survive in this rugged region. Their presence is felt everywhere, from the smallest village to the highest pass. For centuries, the legendary Silk Road wound its way through these towering mountains, making Tajikistan a crossroads for traders, travelers, and dreamers from distant lands. The mountains were both a barrier and a bridge. Along these routes, merchants carried silks, precious stones, and spices, filling the markets with color, scent, and sound. The Sogdian people became legendary traders, connecting mighty empires from China all the way to Byzantium. Their caravans brought not just goods but also stories, inventions, and new beliefs. Cities like Panjikent flourished as centers of trade and culture, where merchants, artists, and scholars gathered to exchange ideas and goods. These cities became melting pots, where different languages, traditions, and beliefs mixed, creating a vibrant and diverse society. Over time, great empires rose and fell here. Persian, Greek, Kushan, each leaving behind their own unique mark on the land, its cities, and its people, shaping the culture and history of Tajikistan. This constant mixing of peoples and ideas made Tajikistan a true crossroads of civilizations. Its valleys acted as natural highways, connecting distant worlds and bringing people together. Even today, ancient forts and the faces of Tajik people tell stories of centuries of movement, exchange, and blending of cultures. Tajikistan's land was never isolated. It was always a living link in the chain that held the old world together, a place where history and nature are forever intertwined. Before Islam, Tajikistan's spiritual world was a mix of Zoroastrian fire temples, Buddhist churches, and old beliefs about spirits in nature. Zoroastrianism, with its holy fires, and Buddhism, brought by monks on the Silk Road, both did well here. Old things found, like the Buddha in Nirvana, at Ajina Tepe, show a land open to many beliefs. Beliefs about nature honored spirits in mountains and rivers, making people respect nature a lot. Shamans and older people led ceremonies for good harvests and safe trips, mixing old and new beliefs. Groups of people often used parts from different religions, creating a culture of being open and curious. Into this lively world, Islam would come, not to erase, but to add another layer to Tajikistan's spiritual history. The Silk Road was more than a way to trade, it was a highway for ideas and beliefs. Tajikistan's spot connected it to Persia and Central Asia, making sure new ideas always flowed in. The Tajik language, which is like a Persian language, and shared stories and poems tied the area to Persia. To the east, cities like Samarkand and Bukhara brought knowledge, goods, and talks about religion. This openness made people curious and ready for new beliefs. The Silk Road had already brought Zoroastrian priests and Buddhist monks. Soon, it would bring Muslim sellers and smart people. Tajikistan's people were used to different things, ready to think about new ways of understanding the world. Everything was ready for Islam to come and change the future of the area. Islam first came to Tajikistan not through conquest or war, but by the quiet example set by Silk Road traders who traveled these ancient routes. These merchants, journeying from distant lands, brought with them not only goods and spices, but also new ideas and beliefs that would slowly shape the region. Muslim traders impressed local people with their honesty, good behavior, and strong sense of togetherness. Their fair dealings and generosity in the bustling markets made a lasting impression on the communities they visited, earning respect and trust from locals. Their daily prayers, acts of kindness, and willingness to share stories about their faith sparked curiosity. Conversations often began in roadside inns and busy markets, where travelers and locals would gather to rest, trade, and exchange ideas. Soon scholars and learned people followed, bringing books, new sciences, and fresh perspectives. They engaged in lively discussions with local thinkers, introducing new philosophies and ways of understanding the world. The spread of Islam was gradual, a gentle process of sharing cultures, ideas, and traditions, rather than one of force or sudden change. Over time, these exchanges wove Islam into the fabric of daily life. The first people to embrace the new religion were often merchants and wealthy city dwellers, drawn by the faith's values and the many benefits. that came from being connected to the wider Islamic world: trade, knowledge, and a sense of belonging to something greater. For many Tajiks, Islam became a new and meaningful part of an already rich and complex way of seeing the world, blending with local customs and traditions to create something unique. What began as quiet conversations about a new faith soon grew into a clear and strong voice, echoing across the land and shaping the identity of Tajikistan for generations to come. In the faraway mountains, Islam's journey was slower, shaped by old tribal customs and being alone. Traders spent months in villages, earning trust and sharing their faith by living it every day. Mountain people watched, asked questions, and slowly accepted Islam's main ideas, mixed into their own ways. Old shrines were used for new purposes, and seasonal ceremonies were changed to fit the Islamic calendar. This mixing allowed mountain tribes to accept Islam without losing who they were. Islam became something that brought people together, connecting lonely groups with a shared faith. The network of belief spread valley by valley, changed by the strong spirit of the mountains. Islam found a lasting home in Tajikistan's highest places, loved and uniquely changed. Sufi saints brought Islam's heart to Tajikistan's most remote places, focusing on a personal connection to God. These traveling holy people used poems, stories, and nature's examples to teach spiritual truths. Sufis helped people and healed them. Their lodges, called khanqahs, became places for learning and unity. Religious practices like zikr and shared meals created a feeling of belonging and peace. The memory of Sufi saints lives on in shrines and poems, making a gentle, welcoming kind of Islam. Their teachings helped bridge differences between tribes and offered comfort in the harsh mountain world. Sufism's path of the heart is still very important to Tajik spiritual life today. As Islam settled in, it changed Tajikistan's land and daily life, leaving a mark that can still be seen in every corner of the country. The faith didn't just arrive, it grew roots, shaping the rhythms of work, rest and celebration for generations. Mosques and religious schools became the heart of every community, blending faith with learning and poetry, science, and deep thinking. These places were more than just buildings, they were spaces where ideas flourished, friendships formed, and the next generation was inspired. Islamic laws and traditions shaped how leaders led and how families lived, creating order and unity. They guided daily choices, from how people greeted each other to how they solved problems together. Holidays, like Eid, became very important for how communities saw themselves, making social bonds stronger. These celebrations brought everyone together, filling towns with laughter, music, and the warmth of shared meals. Even with Soviet efforts to stop it, faith lasted, coming back after the country became free with rebuilt mosques and new traditions. The spirit of belief survived, adapting and growing stronger with each new era. For Tajiks, Islam is a source of guidance and comfort, woven into their special culture. It shapes their values, their hopes, and the way they see the world. The story of Islam here is about changing, talking, and being strong. It's a story of people coming together, sharing wisdom, and building a future rooted in tradition. From Silk Road sellers to Sufi saints, faith was carried and changed by the people and the land. The mountains, valleys, and ancient roads all played a part in shaping a unique spiritual journey. Today, Islam remains a living link to Tajikistan's history, land, and strong spirit, a faith carved into the very landscape, connecting past and present. If you enjoyed this journey through Tajikistan's rich history and culture, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more stories from the Silk Road, and share it with friends who love exploring the world's hidden histories. Your support helps us bring more fascinating stories to life.